Versatile Mage. Chapter 200 High Price. Warrior Soul Essence. Although the matter had caused a huge sensation, it eventually calmed down over time. Furthermore, most people's focus was now on the young hero from the Zhao family. Zhao Mannion was indeed very carefree. From the beginning of school until the arena incident, Mo Fan had thought of him as just a simple pickup artist. Other than picking up girls, it didn't seem like he did anything else. Now, he had taken advantage of the opportunity to soar in fame, becoming a reputable person within the school. It was indeed a rather miraculous thing. Fortunately, Zhao Mannion also knew how to return favors. He would occasionally introduce a couple of pretty girls to Mo Fan. Being an upright person, Mo Fan normally rejected them. After they agreed on the weekend, Mo Fan and Zhao Mannion went to the National Trade Center together. There was an auction hall on the top floor of the National Trade Center. The auction was usually held once a month. Mo Fan had never been to a place like this before, so he used Zhao Mannion's connections to obtain a pass to enter. This auction hall is very exclusive. Either you spend a lot of money for membership, or you need a certain level of background. You need to be at the rank of Hunter Master to qualify. Other powers or families require certain positions, Zhao Mannion explained to Mo Fan as they walked along. In other words, those without a position cannot participate in the auction for magic goods even if they have the money. Mo Fan asked. That's right, a magician is always lacking in resources no matter their level. This is why many smart ones join higher powers. One reason is because resources are scarce. Not everyone is like the magicians in the Hunters Union, who go to remote areas to dig for treasures without concern for their lives. Another reason is that most resources in safe areas have already been occupied and controlled by the greater powers. In fact, I actually admire you. You don't have any background, yet you cultivated to this level. You should know that most top magicians either cultivated bitterly and risked their lives, or were forced to sell themselves to the powers, Zhao Mannion complimented him. If I have something I want to sell, where do I go? Mo Fan asked casually. Right now, Mo Fan's family did have some money. The scholarship given to him by the school was around 2 million RMB, and the commission from the hunt added another million. Originally, his goal had been to bring back his wife and child safely. However, he knew that his wife had almost turned into the source of a calamity. Even though she was directly beheaded by Mo Fan, he still received the other million. He knew how painful it was to be infected. In his words, at least his wife was finally free of the demon. Adding the 1.5 million RMB from before, Mo Fan now had 3.5 million RMB in assets. Providing for a girl in school was not a problem. However, according to Zhao Mannion, the prices of all the items at the auction today would exceed 5 million RMB. Editor note: at 1/7 RMB, that's worth over $500,000. Mo Fan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He had put in so much effort to earn his money, yet he couldn't compete for a single item. There were indeed richer people in the world. What do you want to sell? Zhao Mannion asked. Warrior level soul essence. Mo Fan didn't hide it. After all, he still had to borrow Zhao Mannion's identity to sell his items. Just like how to bid here, you needed either membership or a certain social position. Speaking of which, Lingling's title as a hunter master was very important, or else mingling in the domains of magicians would be very difficult. A trivial matter. Wait, did you say a warrior level soul essence? Zhao Mannion was suddenly shocked, eyes wide as he stared at Mo Fan. Yeah, damn, you really have luck. You even obtained a warrior level soul essence. From that mother beast, Zhao Mannion exclaimed, clearly shocked. Mo Fan was also puzzled. Zhao Mannion seemed to have the same moral integrity as himself, especially in his choice of words. Yeah, I didn't expect to get it either, Mo Fan nodded. I respect that, truly. Others have killed who knows how many warrior-level magical beasts, yet none of them obtained this. You only killed one, but it makes sense. This mother beast was presumably very different from other warrior-level magical beasts. The more special the creature, the more likely its spirit will turn into soul essence upon death. But how did you even have a soul container? That stuff isn't cheap at all, Zhao Mannion said admiringly. For a disciple like him, resources were not unlimited. A spirit-grade elemental seed or warrior-level soul essence was extremely precious. Families wouldn't casually give them to new generation youths. Even Zhao Mannion had never received anything that expensive. Looking at Mo Fan, he first had made a transaction with his family to receive a lightning spirit seed. But what really shocked Zhao Mannion was that Mo Fan had obtained a warrior-level soul essence. Soul container? Mo Fan asked, confused. How could you collect a soul essence without a soul container? A soul container is made by soul magicians who study the soul meticulously. It's used for collecting soul remnants and soul essences. If I remember correctly, the worst soul container costs at least 5 million IMB. For one that can collect a warrior-level soul essence, you'd need at least 1 or 200 million RMB. Zhao Mannion exclaimed. A container for collecting souls is that expensive? Mo Fan was surprised. Mo Fan had realized this long ago. Soul essences and soul remnants seemed to be something only he could collect. Even the past members of the Hunter Squad were not interested. They didn't seem to notice souls appearing like fireflies. Big brother, soul essences are used to manufacture stardust tools and nebula tools. Originally, no one could collect these unless they were a soul magician. Now, someone has created a soul container, so they're incredibly expensive. Imagine that even the worst stardust tool used by a primary magician costs 5 to 10 million. If you get a couple of soul essences, you could become rich overnight. Zhao Mannion said. Mo Fan nodded to himself. So collecting souls was usually reserved for soul magicians. No wonder materials to create magic tools and nebula tools were so rare. Even spirit magicians were hard to find. Little Loach Pendant, your abilities are amazing. I'm increasingly curious where you're from. Mo Fan looked at the little Loach Pendant on his chest. Let's go, I'll help you add your soul essence to the auction list. It'll definitely sell for a good price, Zhao Mannion said. At this moment, Mo Fan was also excited. He was very curious how much his soul essence would sell for. Would he be able to buy a house in Shanghai? Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.